The Talk In Show. Get ready to be educated and inspired. The Talk In Show. Get ready to be educated and inspired.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Talk In Show with your beautiful host Cindy Official. We've been on a break for a while, but we are back like we never left. Alright, so today I have with me the chairman of the Asawase Constituency, the leading political opposition party, the NDC, in the person of Honorable Faisal Dauda, popularly known as Malam Concern. He is also the Assemblyman for my area, Aboabo extension. Let's go for a quick break. When we get back, I will introduce you my guest and then we get it in following.
The Talk In Show. Get ready to be educated and inspired.
Welcome back, viewers. We are going to have an entertaining, educative, and exciting episode. But then, for the purpose of our viewers and our listeners, I want us to change the dialect into Hausa language because of our listeners. Send us one.
Samugari.
Malam Concern. They are running.
Nima matana kenan.
Send us one.
Samugari ya yau. Ya kokari alhamdulillah.
So, Bamu, do fast. You don't have time.
No.
You've been an assemblyman, for your second time, Kiga. So let's say from the first time to the second time like what can you see that you've done to the people of my area of our extension?
Well, thank you very much for this opportunity. And I also like to extend my greetings to our viewers and listeners. When it comes for the assemblyman,
That's this Hausa. Those who did the kill.
Mutane kuma da yawa. To bari dai mu Hausa, amma ina ganin mutane kuma na nan da baki ba su jin Hausa. Ya kamata muna yi muna gaggamawa. Saboda koyaji za yi ya je nisa. Kuma community na muke nan Dore is dominated by the Muslim community, but there are also people who are can't speaking language. Ba su jin Hausa na. So shi sa. By the way, kamar yadda kika faɗin muna kara gaida mutane masu sauraron mu da kan wanga dandali mai albarka. Ina ji ni ma godiya nake da na samu wanga dama kan wanga platform aka tambaye ni abubuwa na ci gaba na unguwa da yake ya kamata mu yi. Ina ji na ce da unguwannin mu da gaskiya yana cikin unguwanni da yake ya samu karbuwa da ci gaba. Before ma mu zo mu yi assembly members, iyayen mu suka fara yi dogon wasu shekaru, wasu kuma suka yi tukunne komo back to mu a gida. Shi yasa abubuwa da yake na damuwa unguwa ba kan sai muka tashi muka nemi assemblyman ba. Wayanda yake suna unguwa suka ga irin kokartawa da muke da idima in abin unguwa ya tashi yanda muke sa jiki muke a taimako. Shi shugabanci na batun assemblyman ko kuma kowane shugabanci abu biyu yake tafiya da shi. Yana tafiya da physical development, yana kuma tafiya da human development. Based on the human development din nan, yana bukatan kai da mutane na yawan ganawa kuna da close contact, kana gani challenges da suke bi ciki, akwai day to day problem da ya kamata kana solve within the community or society. Shi wannan basically abin da na saba yi kenan, mutane na gani kamar na zo zama assemblyman. Even before zama assemblyman, even before man zama unit committee, That is how the unit committee under Honorable Malade, Allah Ejigensh.
Chicken number 1.
No, we're not number 1. We have a number 1 electoral area proper. Before it was demarcated to Aboabo number 1 proper, Aboabo extension proper. So by the way, that is how we started. Munkaide Masai for 4 years, and people were thinking that this time around Malade himself is not going back. She's a Yakamata. At least somebody must take over. So by the way, many people propose that I should go for it. If I'm not going for it, then they also decide to go. So when you look at it, by majority of our people think that the service we've been rendering the community, it will be in the best interest of the community to see me as their assembly member. That is how it started, from unit committee to assemblyman. And by the way, not Kinkuma politics, party politics. So I'm doing both at the same time. From there, I also move as a constituency treasurer and move back and working as an assemblyman. Also going back to becoming the chairman before getting re-elected as another term as an assemblyman. So I serve as an assemblyman and a constituency treasurer for the NDC at the same time. And I'm also serving as an assemblyman and also as a constituency chairman at the same time. That is how it is started. But when we look at the human development, there we have been doing a lot. We are serving the people, and the people are electing us. So when you do good, when you are able to do a very good job for the people, and they think that they are satisfied with your contribution towards development, they will re-elect you any other time that you are coming back. There's no need to do that kind of massive campaigning and other thing by spending much resources. So most of the resources we are getting in the daily day, the everyday activities, we are putting in the efforts and the resources that we think that we have. She's like I'm kids about when I eat the mutano ground, one be the life here is okay at vacation, one in animal school, cat vacation, one in animal, one in Timoko, one abuba, you be putting it. One I eat mutanis because I'm abu. Occasionally, soon I hear about the Mutunchinga Kamara Musubaya. That is what we think that we have been doing. Alhamdulillah, society now soon again because of accessibility is good. When we come to physical development, in that regard, our constituency, electoral area, one of our biggest problem achieve among Yakamata certain infrastructures, but because of how the area is, there's a lot of things we've been putting. Because when you come to educational infrastructures, already, even before I became the assemblyman, and there's a lot of development which has been achieved through some of our leaders, 4 leaders. So, especially Aboabo Extension Electoral Area is where I am. It is only in the, I can say, within the 3 Aboabo, it is only in my electoral area that you could find Aboabo Post Office. Beside that, yes, when you look at area now, how do you call it?
Post office, is it working?
It is only in my area also you could get the biggest community library within the entire constituency.
Community library in the books.
That is
not effective. I think
there is a challenge. There is a challenge, but it was very effective before. So there is a challenge. Now we are trying to work on it. Beside that, Kumanke Duba, I've been how do you call it? Watania Islamic School within our community, Noni. Shikuma Gaduba infrastructure development in the Kichki, the Wanso Aboabo. Though it is not directly coming from me, the assemblyman.
Let's go for a quick break. We'll be right back. Alright, welcome back, viewers. Let's continue our conversation.
As we earlier stated, when we look at Aboabo Watania, it is also in our own vicinity, within my electoral area. And there is a lot of infrastructure development within there. Though it wasn't that kind of directly from me, But indirectly, in whatever way there's a development going on, we have our own way of making our own contribution so that it will come to fruition. And besides that, Kuma Keduba, Awareness, we were in one way or the other engaging all of them through the PTA and other means. So any other time that there's any other contribution we may give them, we give out. Besides that, one of our major issue in the community was security. Between security. So we have two aspects of security, which I think the other one I was able to work hardly to even reach towards about 90% of it. We have a lighting security and a personal security. So on the personal ones, we need to form a certain volunteers and other things. But one way to the other, most of the people that were they are not interested. It is those kind of nuisance persons who we're supposed to fight against are also showing their interest. That's one of the reasons why we set up volunteering team number, security team number.
People would not like to volunteer because
you see, it's somehow not about that, because people were thinking that because of economic challenges and other things, they cannot spend their time spending all night securing the community, and at the end of the day, they have to also go to work.
So at the end of the day, Kokarin the Kai within the past 4 years, she about re-electing.
Come on, let me give you the Kingan in your puzzle between security, between lights. That is the first demands of the all electoral areas. From the indigenous or the constituents within the electoral, their first demand is lighting. So I'll make sure that there's no any corner that has not been light. Though we have one way of our challenges. Somehow you secure them through the assembly. Somehow you secure them through your own means. Maybe you went and buy it from some other thing. That is how it goes. Between sanitation, one way to the other, almost every 1 year, we make sure that we have a massive sanitation exercise.
1 year,
It is because of the resources that some of the couldn't Mukisa Chikini. Somehow, some and the Mukeso, regularly. She said, at least within a year, they form money they and I help out me and Kwashika and the Saudage. Besides that, assembly and compactor. Main reason that the assembly made market. Lord, no, yeah, because Sharon backing city, she compact and is part of the reason why they are. But she has not Jinchinachi, Mana she regular.
Okay, so at least you've been doing a lot. And then I can testify to one fact as someone who lives within your community. Come on for 2 times. Main polling now. Maybe for some reason you can't. The Ankira Malam, to be honest, I'm not saying it because like a minute, but then not today so be the Ankira Malam no. Just quick.
One of our challenges within the area is that because of the Eastern Bypass route, that is the road from Anaga Junction to Airport Roundabout, it has been an accident-prone area. So, any at that time, some of the foreign trailers and other things were marching our poles and other these things. So, when it happens like this, at night, even it is 1 or 2 o'clock, and you get the information, you need to come back, so that all are part of the scaring of people's interests. So we make sure we call the electricity, the MTTU, and they are doing very well. Any other time we call on them, they will come immediately, so that and give us the needed support that we want. She said, whatever case, I cannot see fiscal development. There is some that I have initiated. But besides that, some of the things that I know at my own time has happened is that when you look at Aboabo MA Primary, which has been the biggest government school within our area, and it has been a popular one, and the location that it has been it is cited is the biggest location that everybody knows. But when you look at the security, insecurity issues around there, yeah, the people have challenges in the Kenya. As I'm talking to you, and you came the Kinga, according to the government World Bank program through MMDAs, through the local government and the MMD, the Works and Housing and Sanitation Ministry. They all collaborated from it. The program is called Karma. Yes, it's part of one of the initiatives in the Mukakao. Every household must have a toilet so that we may meet the kind of world standard sanitation and environmental status. So because of that, we push. Instead of biodigest and like a build 4,000, 5,000 Ghana cedis in can use only 700 Ghana cedis a build. And many other houses has now been getting many of their yeah. And the program just ended about last 2 weeks, Thursday. Besides that, within the community, some of the schools has been choosing what is the new World Bank program. She's a Aboabo MA primary. Kwanda Kagina wants to buy facilities in toilet. There is a teacher's washroom. There is a student, the people's washroom, and beside that, there is a bathing place for the people. And the same are the teachers and the administrators has also their own place of privacy that they use. So it is one of the initial important, but we couldn't make it loud because we think that part of our vision that is too minimal for us to come out and say we have done something like that.
Whether big or small, so long as
there will be a time for that. There will be a time. You see, one of the things that I want serve my community. Because somehow, some way, come on, do the lighting. Yeah. She said, I mean, because it is important. It is mandatory on me. It's my own responsibility. And self with due diligence. Besides that, I must be served with honesty. She said, I prefer the Laden doesn't Samuchki more than appraise and mutani. She said, one way that I came witness. Before the election, Kingdom people are maligning me front and back, whatever, saying a lot of things against me. But so that because I can't like again, she will want them back. I expect the person will come out testifying some of your contributions and your good words and other these things to the public before the end of the day. Before you get to the election, you will realize that Allah will be choosing you against those who were criticizing you negatively. I think when it comes to my community, it's a matter of responsibility. It is my responsibility to serve them, either I am in a political position or not. She said, no, whatever way you come out and with servants. Because one thing I remember is that. Okay.
Let's go for a quick break. Welcome back, viewers.
Thank you.
So let me ask you this. Akoni side in mutani suna kiran assemblyman ko wayanda suke leaders maybe when matters die zai aure kiga suna kiran leaders ana son su kawo contribution. Do you face that kind of problems?
Yes, I think it's part of our societal norms. It's part of our societal norms. Because of the kind of society we have, we are like a nuclear family. So, don't want a chicken problem. She couldn't a chicken problem. She had a problem na kyali ya zama min musiba. Kuma na wasa ma na ji kunya ko kuma na zo in fita waje in je duniya ma ina roko. Shi na gan kaman wani kaza dan wana ne Allah ya mai wani daraja. Ba purposely ne shi na zuwa wurin kan nan don ya zo ne yana gan kai ka bashi kudin nan ba. Though one or two people you may get that kind of challenge. Amma mutum da ya zo wurin ka duka ni na gan baiwa ne na Allah. Wannan ya zuwa wurin ka kai kana kallon ma ya fika kudi. Amma shi ma yana kallon ka da darajar da Allah ya ma rigan da mutuncin nan. Shi yana gan kaman shi kai kafi shi daraja. Shi yasa ya kamata ya zo wurin ka ya nemi wannan abu. Kagan mutum ya zo nema abu wurin ka. Wallahi Allah yana rufa ma mutum asiri ne turin mutum. Wanda ke zuwa suna neman kudin hospital kudin mata na ta haifu na ji wani politician na cewa kama bai matan ka ta haifu ka ci wurin wani ka zo kana ne because matan ka dai ba kaman sorry to say mutuwa ba ne amma it's more emergency than some of the people who were on the sick bed.
I disagree with you.
Yes, the reason why I'm saying that is that me yasa nake ga miki mutum ne ya matan shi ta haifu matan shi na da ciki yana struggle yana duban ta hospital yana komi an sa mata date na za ta haifu ya san kaman cikin rayuwa ya kamata ya yi da matan shi sutura ya san kaman ya kamata ya siya wani rago ya ajiye ya san kaman ranar da ta haifu in yana so ya wani dan taro kadan iya yi wani ya san matan nan ta je hospital ranar da za ta haifu akwai kayan da ake sai duka ya making shasa ran da wani abu ya kai musan haifuwa shi condition matan ne change shi aka ce za mata operation da yaje ce a yi mata don ta samu rayuwanta ta survive bayan mu shi ya tin nan shi ga bilin za ba shi nan is not what he planned. It is not what he planned. Shi sa me shi ke wannan ke sa kaga mutum ya fita baya sai sa ba wanda ke son ya doki problem dakin shi yana yawo yana roko da shi dole cikin society kai ka samu ran su dai sun mai da shi kaman some of their business amma majority I can tell you it is not because they like it to come and beg that their wives have delivered so they need a support to do a naming ceremony. No, it's not like that. Many of them, it's not about naming ceremony. Some of them couldn't even they don't like even celebrating their doing their outdooring for their children. But what is more important is that the expectation that the person thinks that he will spend at the hospital at times because of certain expected uncertainties, unexpected challenges, so or unexpected expectations. Because of that, I'm thinking that
matan ta haifu ne zai zo neman kudin rago akwai wani shi ya sa idon shi kan assemblyman assemblyman ma kuna kuma da sauki wani ya sa idon shi kan MP ko wani PC ko wani abu shi ina shi ne ko political leaders ko wayanda ma suke cikin gari da aka san su kuma suna da kai shi da na matan shi ta haifu kun zai aure idon shi na kan
that's why I say it is our societal norms. Societal norms in the regards that because of our the kind of status we have in our society and because of our economical status, it is not everything that the person can afford. And you cannot see because you are working, you are not that kind of, you have a certain little skills that you make a means to survive. Because of that, you cannot see you want to wait till you become a billionaire or millionaire before you get married. So one way or the other, if the person was able to make certain steps, to take certain steps towards getting married, and realize that there is a friend or a leader within the community, when he comes to you, you may give him a certain support to do. It's part of all the societal things that we need to build a society or a community. So to me, too much of everything is bad. It shouldn't be your character that any other time that you are going to do an event, you are going to have a baby, you need to go for borrowing or begging people to support you. But to me, one of us, even me as a constituency chairman, I have my limits. There are certain things that people were expecting that I can do within the community or the society. But if it's beyond my control, I go to certain people, either businessmen within the community or people at the hierarchy to lobby for support before I come and deliver whatever thing I plan to do. So it is the same thing if people under us are thinking that we are the community leaders. They cannot run to any other person than to us. But you see, leading people is not about always giving them, giving out some goodies or whatever. It is also about educating them. There are times that the only thing you need kamusu magana mi dadi. Somehow, some way, back at challenge, sheko goda muskoma. An kabina, kai kasamu wannan taimakon nan. Many people are also following that cue, and they are also making it more than that what you can give them. Kamani haka, an kazo wuri na the problem. No be a problem nan ga ko ya na san ban yamma the only thing da na yi tunani wanga ma wa zan ya shin ce teburin wani mai magana kaman kana zuwa maybe ya duba one way to maybe ma machine din ka ti kai maganan ka bai da shi yanda ya kamata ya bayi amma saboda ni ma na sa bakin nan shi gan kamar shi ya make wani move kada shin ka ga min shin ce to ban mu try one kaza that is what we call lobbying. Some of the things is not like they are begging, they are lobbying from you.
Some people
that's why I say you cannot see the entirety of the people, but some majority of the people that comes to us, it is because they are overburdened. They don't have any other means to go by. Majority of them, that's why they are coming to us. It's not also because they enjoy begging. So it is because of that challenges. I myself, one of my daughters, lovely daughter, have been contacted this kind of liver problem. I couldn't even notice it's a liver. Initially, we thought that it is this thing, how do you call it, kidney. We spent almost what we have before we realized it is a liver problem.
Doctors couldn't tell you it was a kidney problem.
Yeah, I wonder how it comes, but I give everything to Allah. So at the moment that we realize that it is beyond our control, I almost spend everything that I have. I must run to people to support me. And that time, I need to save a life. But somebody will say, as a constituency chairman, as Assemblyman, why should you be running, begging people or lobbying people for that kind of financial support? Somehow, some way, it is not that kind of much thing you may expect. They will ask you to go and buy this medicine, 2,000. Go and buy this medicine, 3,000. And people were thinking that, as for you, because of your position, this kind of money is nothing to you. But because of the certain challenges, and at the same time, once you are facing your own family challenges, you need to also look at back. You will not say because you have your own challenges. Kind of the market problem, the family, the gidanku, the yaran ka wani bai da lafiya sai sa kana wani yazo cikin society na. At times, ko abincin da zaka ci ma, wannan ya kawo ma kara. In ka tuba status mission na shi ka bar naka ka bana 2 or 3 times na taba ganin an taba kawo min problem. Da na kibar yara na su ta school na da kikurin schools dealing na da kina solve problem na 2 or 3 times it happens. Na taba kuma wani bi kudin adadan bayi a yi abinci rana wannan rana saboda problem da ya zo gabanin na is more I see it as more important in solve problem than ni da kaina da family na mu ci abinci na very that is leadership. And all those things now, you don't need to come out and see it, but when you do it for God's sake, at the end of the day you are running for elections. So when people are maligning you, you could find something. God will allow some of them to come out. Once they come out and they will testify those things, and people will be surprised. How come? So in that way, I see it as it is God that is doing. Yes. And beside that, at the end of the day, it surprised a lot of people that upon this maligning, upon this attack, upon these negativities and name calling and everything, when we are winning election, we win it massively.
Let's go for a quick break. When we come back, we talk about the constituency chairmanship election. Alright, welcome back, viewers. I hope you are enjoying my conversation with Malam Concern. Before we went for a break, I said when we come back, we're going to talk about your constituency election. Before the election, Mungani, Cheche, Kuche, Achewan. Har wa'yansu ba su son makanci, but at the end of the day, MPP na cewa wai, how do they even say it? The battle is still the Lord's. So because the battle was the Lord's, you won hands down. So tell us about that.
And I think when it comes to our constituency election, you see, elections are won
at the police station.
No, elections are won by strategies. If your strategies,
for constituency elections,
every elections.
Oh, I thought that was a police station.
No. When you say even police station, once you have a weak strategy, people will have a very strong strategy. No, and have a way. And me, I don't think elections are won. When you are talking about general elections, they are won at the polling stations and coalition centers. You can win at the polling station, And even me, I don't believe in that philosophy that elections are won at the polling stations. I don't believe in that. Elections are cast and count at the polling stations and won at the declaration centers. Polling station can become a declaration center, as well as the collation center can become a declaration center. So, in the same way, the headquarters, when it is about general election, it can also be. So, if you are not careful, you can win all polling stations. At the end of the day, at the collation centers, your votes may be minimized in other districts. That even by going further, even the EC can declare at the collation center you have won, but the National Collation Center, which the Electoral Commissioner itself is the returning officer, may also declare null and void and to say that you couldn't win. And at the end of the day, that election can also be declared in the court of law. So when people say elections are, then after casting your elections at the polling station and thinking like, no, all is good. Elections are not an event, it's a process. So processes leading to the declaration of laws. If you are not even satisfied, you can even have the mandate to take it to court. When you take it to court, the court can also decide who won, even if the Electoral Commission have stated otherwise. So when people are saying that elections are won at the police station, they are not, I don't believe in that
So
philosophy.
if they are not won at the police station, what do you mean to say? Because I casted my vote for A, you casted your vote for B. So let's say at the polling station, A had 10 votes, B had 6 votes. It means definitely A won.
You see,
So how does it turn before the declaration?
elections are cast at the police stations. Yes, that is a fact. But elections cannot be won at the police stations. If you win all the 34 or so police stations in the whole country, and you were not able to collate them very well, at the end of the day, at the collation centers, somebody will be declared winner. So that means, assuming that the kind of voting pattern we have, assuming that we have 100,000 polling stations, and someone won 60,000 polling stations, are you telling me because elections are won at the police station, the one who won over 60,000 has maybe upon the winning the 60,000 over 60,000 polling station against the 40,000, or winning 60 against 40? Are you telling me if the number of votes at the 4,000 polling station, assuming, let me use this kind, 4,000 and 6,000, those who win the polling station, about 40% of the polling station, and have the biggest number of votes or largest number of votes than those who won at the 6,000 police. Are you telling me they have become?
What we mean by elections are won at the polling station is that, just like I gave you that example, if A had 10 and then B had 4, definitely A won. Doesn't mean that your example is different from my example, because your example means that if out of 10,000 polling stations, A won 60,000 polling stations. 6,000 polling stations, and then B won 4,000 polling stations. We are talking about the figures, not the polling stations.
That's why when you see when elections are won at the police station, elections are cast, and the processes does not stop there. That's why anytime you see something used to become how do you call it, a term, and if you are not careful, the term sink in the minds of the people, and thinking that they say the elections are won at the police station, out of jubilation, people even leave out the police station and think they are beginning to jubilate. We have won a certain number of police stations, that's why we have won the elections.
Do you mean to tell me that at the collation center something is done?
Yes, manipulation is done in the elections, even at the police stations.
Okay.
Even at the police station, if you are not vigilant enough, why is it that part of our laws we allow polling agents to the polling stations? Because they know so they can manipulate.
That is why when MPP took the pin sheet to court, they didn't even know.
Yes, when you look at the kind of police station, number of police station Bamia wanted the vote should be null and void. I think you understand me. Because of the number of polling stations. Because at the end of the day,
they won at the polling station.
they think that they won.
Because
and they didn't come.
Sheet.
No, as for them, because of the laws. You see, when you see elections is a process. There are certain laws that can say one of the laws of our voting is that you cannot, when the number of people who casted their vote or verified by the verified machine and exceeds the number of the ballots, when the ballot exceeds the number of verified people, is overvoting.
Yeah.
But on the pick sheet, a presiding officer can deliberately have the figures in the total column. Maybe there is a rejected ballot and he put it on the rejected column. There is a spoiled ballot, he put it in the water. So if your agent is not vigilant enough, what will happen is that he can also calculate all of it in the total valid vote.
Is that how he didn't won the chairmanship position?
Our position as an internal party process is quite different from the national elections. That's why I was trying to educate you on this one. Our own, it is a selected members. I see it, we call it the delegation of executives. That's why we call it a branch.
That you can do something.
No, every elections, it's just like you are marketing your product. And some people are willing to buy your products.
Let's go for tea break. Alright, welcome back, viewers. Malam Concern. So, how did you win yours?
I was. That's why I started by telling you that even in marketing, if you want to market your product well, you have to have a strategic marketers. Through that, in everything I do, I begin to do. I've been making educa. Elections are running. I'm going to somehow don't just sell any product in it. Need a kind of company, the manufacturing company. She said, no, you don't sell product in her. That is the position I'm vying for. Yazayi Kusi Akarabini. She said, no, call me now, conduct research. No conduct research, she put everything in one basket. She use SWOT analysis. I look at my own weakness and the weakness of my opponent. I look at the environment, how my strength is, and the strength of my other. Then I look at the environment, the opportunity within the system that I'm running for the election. Because before I look at the threat, when I do my ABCD or SWOT analysis, if I'm going to win the election, I know that is where I begin to set up the strategies to cater for the strengths, the one who will cater for the weakness. How am I going to make use of the opportunities, and how am I going to defend the threats? That is what I do. So look at the election now. The perceived mindset in Yana going to come. Oh, the chairman Malam Concern. I started my Malam Concern through some of the small groups and certain NGOs have been forming, because I'm a kid and a Malam. She said, I am too concerned about community development. She said, any other thing you cannot try and form something little abena. So you have no concern press release, concern citizens of such, concern NDC such, concern DC here. So everything about me is about concern. So not the mayor, Malam concern man, I want to from concern kaza. That is how it started. So the need to pick because as a brother, I'm not Aikitare for over 60 years. But people were thinking that the popularity of the Malam Concern is because I'm attached with Honorable Muntaka. So by the way, the Nigerian contest chairmanship, that is where we begin to have a certain problem. And there's other things that because we are in election here, I don't want to bring it to forth. But one nana, she make a set out. She not do that. Hey, the strength of my opponent is Alhaji Mutu. He is well resourced, 2-term chairman, is going for his 3rd term. Leadership moment interfere as is one of his aide. Need a Honorable Muntaka, and he merged with Honorable Muntaka. Muntaka is campaigning openly for him. That is how it happens. There is another unfortunate one not been happen. But so that is how it happened. It has already happened. So the one I look at and I sit back and do the SWOT analysis about Muntake's views and messages and his personality. And I did a SWOT analysis with Elijah Mutum himself. And I also do a SWOT analysis with myself before I come and analyze the delegates. And I look at my own strength within the party. And I do a calculation and realize that I will win the election. I win massively. I win massively because almost, let me say, about 1,500 people voted. At least 1,700 people or 1,800 people voted on that day. And I was able to get, 1,500, 1,600. A little, let me say, I get about 1,000, almost 1,000 votes.
That was massive.
900 and something votes. And Elijah Mutu also gets 700 and something votes. So that is what goes by. Upon that, when you look at all those things at the this thing, one of the challenges they don't find that's a mutani viewers in a colonna. Come on, one of your conspire. Run an election and strategically in a plan.
What happened? Tell me.
Nina plan. I know because coming and making na. Ndakaji yaki. Bang underrate opponent.
Some
elections.
Especially election.
Elections. Koni the matana ra band the I will work make sure now winning massively. She said, the maybe run and senior. At least they should give me an opportunity as a leading setting group for the contest. Nima Magana on that ground and marketed some of my messages. Because of the committee set up, all of them for the election are in favor of from the Muntake's camp. So I am now handicapped.
So Muntake's camp,
lokacin nan da zan je election nan lokacin na ni da su
have issues with him already.
No, it is because of my contest. It is because of my contest for the chairmanship. Though letting things happen, it doesn't. But they concern me. No, we have. She said the message in the case what she, the Aboabo, the ways in the case what she, the how he whips people around. She said the strength in the chairman in the and that very day, the chairman is a delegate conference. The chairman has the right to make a welcoming address and give out his message. And two, Muntaka is not
the incumbent
chairman. And two, Muntaka as a sitting MP has his also opportunity to give somehow address the audience. Besides that, he was not neutral then. Once he was not neutral, it was going to be a disadvantage to me. So looking at and how I know Honorable Muntaka, and I do a calculation and realize that he will give out the message. The chairman will also give out the message. But I will be handicapped for people to listen to me. After giving out their messages, the election is going to be started. So I need to take a certain strategy. So the strategy was that, one, I know who Muntaka is. He hates seeing people being praised in front of him when he's seated. So I tried to delay coming to the fault. That was what I did. So that I will make away of all the messages that he will give out. And I know it is going to frustrate him. So I organized a certain group of youth so that they will chant and give me fans that will shake the place. And you know, when Muntaka will be coming to the place, we know because we're working together. There is a certain group. We all planned those things when I was in team. So it's an answer come on mutani soon tashi su kuwa men are very undecided voters to go on their side. So if that is the case, I need to do something and do away with that. So I waited, the chairman came, Muntaka came, seated, the program has started. I'm now coming. So strategically, the kind of person he is. I set 5 cameras on him so that that is, you know, you look at the person's life and character. That's why I say you not a strategy. Yes, his weakness. I can say his weakness.
Okay.
I capitalize on his weakness and do away with it so that it will favor me. But when he gives out the message, he will mirror the mindset of the people. And somehow he's putting another trait. If you made a mistake and voted for him, I will never work with him, and you also not benefit from me.
That is what he said.
Yes. So even within the campaigns, he goes around meeting the delegates. Even on the day of that election, that was what he said. So I capitalized, and I know.
We'll be right back. welcome back. I hope you are enjoying this. I wish I had some chilled coke here.
She said, Naji, come over. She said, deliberately, I capitalize on his weakness. No man, I'm making sure as a friend to me. So that the next one, I set 5 cameras, knowing that if I came there with the kind of chanting the youth will be chanting, he will somehow, some way.
Furious.
Yes. So, and even rejected me, not even shake hands with me. So I set the cameras, and on that, based on the research I've done, and I know him very well, because based on his weaknesses, when I went there with the chairman, he refused. The chairman refused to greet me. He also refused to greet me. Then it became a message. So that is how all those things, and that is how I was able to lure the ground, so that my message could also go.
Because
Then why? Yeah, and I've never done anything against you negatively. So strategically, everybody has his own way of identifying the weakness of his opponent and the strength of his opponent, and capitalize on that and send a certain message so that you can lure the people's message. And besides that, even on the day of that, after casting our votes, if you are not vigilant enough, things can change. There are certain things that happen there which is not necessary for us to even say that, but we were able to defend it. And at the end of the day, I was able to win almost more than 100
so right
votes.
now, they check among. He cannot work with you. But someone else for debate, I have heard that Yachi, he cannot work with you. So Yaku in campaign.
One way to the other, I realized that he is still insisting he's not working with me. But my problem is that I was mandated to manage the constituency, including even logistics within the constituency, not even human beings within the constituency, including to prevent the voters and any other asset of the party within the constituency. So once it is under my care as a chairman to cater for that, every MP is a messenger from the constituency to the parliament. That's why we call it member of parliament. And coming from my own party is an asset to me, part of other assets that are within the constituency. The MP is also an asset under my care. So what I've been telling my followers is that if Honorable Muntaka say he's not working with me, it's not a problematic. But if me as the chairman saying I'm not working under Honorable Muntaka or working in the interest of all the Honorable Muntaka, that is where the problem is.
So if he comes out and then he says he wants to work with you, are you willing to work with him?
We must work together. Not necessarily we should sit together. There is a difference between sitting together and working together. So it's not necessary that, now assuming how many constituency chairmen, how many branch chairmen or branch executives of the party, how many regional executives have access to President Mahama?
Few.
But when they are working, in whose name are they working? So why is it that if your MP says he's not working with you, why should it be a problematic? The only thing is that, do you know what you are about? Yours is to cater and see that messages are going down well. You are defending your already number of votes and adding up. The same way you need to do for the presidential candidate. You don't need the presence of your presidential candidate. Same way you don't need the presence of your parliamentary candidate before you work in their interest.
So do you think that your followers might not?
That is where I can see someone, because of certain things that happens, at least when we come to the public domain, we need to prevent as all is well, so that the public will be satisfied that there is a cohesion and unity among us. That could send another message. That is where I think that it is a very bit problematic. But many people wanted to hear from me. Honorable Muntaka may go every length and campaign for himself. But many people who think that it's because of me, they are my followers, they are this kind of sympathizers in my favor. Because through me, through my assemblyman, I lure a lot of people who think that if the NDC are in power, I will benefit and it will benefit them. So those people may not necessarily be an MPP, NDC members, but because of me, they must vote for the MP and the presidential candidate.
Here is the case, he says he's not going to.
That is not a problem. I've been talking to them every day, telling them that that is not the issue. When you go on that tangent, maybe people will be saying that then because of chairman, the chairman is now inciting people for us to lose
them. Let me ask you this question. He said he cannot work with you, and then it is evidently clear that he doesn't like you, so long as he had to campaign against you, to do all sorts of things against you. It means he doesn't like you. So do you like him? Would you vote for him?
Sure.
You would vote for him,
I'm not,
knowing that he doesn't like you.
You see, one thing.
Me as a person,
no.
For me as a person, I will not vote for that person.
No. You see, that question, one thing you have to do, if Honorable Muntaka says he's not working with me, then he means he's not working with NDC. Because excuse me. It's not by me, by my name, Faisal or Malam Concern. It's my position as the constituency chairman. I am representing the entire constituency when it comes to the NDC. And you are under my care. So if you say you are not working with the umbrella or the one who owns the umbrella now, then you are telling me you are not working with the party. But as I'm saying, the party does not knows there is a vice chairman and there is a purpose for vice chairman positions. But the party is working through me. And whatever that is necessary for me to go beyond Honorable Muntaka to the branch executive, I'm doing it. So
you're campaigning for him.
I'm campaigning for him because I'm the constituency chairman. But if he really means he's not working with me or the party, he should go independent. There's no way I will vote for him. There's no way I will campaign for him. But I'm not campaigning for him because of his personal character against me.
You are voting for him because you want
because he's an asset. He is an asset under the umbrella.
Not because you want NDC to retain.
Not because I love him or I care for him or I love him.
You want to vote for him, or you vote for him because you want.
I will vote for him because any other person who is holding our flag as a flag bearer of the constituency, I must vote for him. It's a must on me to vote for any other person, even if it's not Honorable Muntaka. Whether we agree or disagree, we must vote for him because we are under an organization. And if I'm not satisfied with the organizational setup, I must expel myself from that. But I'm not voting for him because he hates me or not. I'm voting for him because he is our parliamentary candidate. And I must also campaign for him.
Some of your followers will not vote for him because of you. So I want you to use this platform and urge them, so long as they love you, they love the party.
You see, as we are working,
because if you don't do like that, it will just be like the
as I'm sitting with you now. Well, I cannot force what somebody thinks on his own mind or the thoughts that are in the people's mind. Whatever has come openly to me, I must work towards that. We don't have much time trying to say we want to reconcile. When I was voted in this coming October, it's going to be 2 years before we have our election, general election.
Chairmanship election.
Yes. So I think that matters of reconciliation has passed. It's a matter of working towards the interest of the party. And the interest of the party is to see that this constituency is maintained with massive difference of votes against the MPP. The same way the presidential candidate must also get massive number of votes. So to me, any other person has not come into in front of me and tell me that, Chairman, because of your problem with Muntaka, I will not vote for Muntaka. But you are on the ground saying that if you could identify the person for me.
It was the same thing that happened last 4 years with the MPP.
To me, ours will not be the same. But to me, what thing I can tell is that I am working in the interest of the party. I'm also campaigning in the name of Muntaka and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama so that we can maintain our seats. But that notwithstanding, Honorable Muntaka also need to be sensitive enough to realize that he cannot leave this constituency even when he's trying to exit through handling over the constituency to the MPP. Some of his characters that are people are pinning on, there are certain things that he must change. He must pretend as all is well when we are in the public domain. Because you cannot go and tell people that, oh, because of what Muntaka is doing against you, against me, so I'm begging. How many people can I identify that they are my supporters. So if Muntaka did anything wrong in public against me, they should still change their mind. That could be a forth, back and forth, this thing.
You are a nice person.
So to me, I will advise him that once he is going for the election, because you could also, because we are all from the same community. When I was going for, how do you call it, my branch, my re-election for the Assemblyman, he came openly with his campaign team.
Yeah.
Going house to house, maligning me, spoiling my name and other this thing. But there's nothing that I've said about it, and I think that it has been passed.
Welcome back, viewers. We have about 5 minutes for us to wrap up. Na ce ba, yanzu haka ba, kamar yadda da za je election nan ya zo publicly, house to house. I remember, ya zo yana campaign against you. Kuma da za a election nan na kai da su Alhaji Mutum da kuma ya zo yake campaign against you publicly. Is it that kai kuma kana yin wani abu against him da mu ba mu ganin naka nashi muke gani?
I think ina ganin mu duka mutane ne. Ga ce kamar kai da mutum kun zauna ba ta mai laifi ba. Maybe unknowingly kai ka mai don laifi ba ka sani ba. Amma mu duka kuma masu kusure ne. Amma abin da za mu yi for public, in the public eye, that is abin da za ka judge. Kuma mutum bai taɓa fitowa ya ce kamar ka kira shi ka zage shi ba. Bai taɓa cewa ka taɓa mai sata ba. Bai taɓa cewa ka taɓa mai gulma ba. Just that position da kake son ka high na, he don't like it. That is the only thing that has been going on. But that is internal issues. And in every political system or being on the hierarchy, kind of some that kind of challenges.
So would you say he began this?
Oh, I think we don't have any problem with him.
From day one.
All of you know the kind of sacrifices have been made in just to defend the interests of. And Muntaka has not been only an MP to me. You know, it's all, we are all brothers. We were born and raised in the same vicinity. Our forefathers and our grandfathers and parents has been that kind of mutual friendship and very good neighbors. So we have become even like brothers already. So it is only that we are all in the same organization called NDC, and we agree to disagree at times. But that shouldn't be as to the length that we could see it as hatred. But the public is now seeing that there is that kind of big hatred between two of us. And I hope it will solve soon, because hopefully, inshallah, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is going to win. When His Excellency John Dramani Mahama win, everything will not be only by the MPs alone. Many people will have an opportunity to become ministers, CEOs, other positions will also be available for a lot of us to also occupy that offices. When that happens, many other problems could be solved, because what is happening is that as if there is that kind of authoritative command, if it's not me, nobody should go there. But when we have power, the harms of power is too many.
I want to chip in this conversation. If it is not him, then nobody is going to do it. Can I say that is the reason why he didn't want you to become the chairman?
You see, that is because of,
we can do that maybe
because of external elections that we have. Any other thing internally I said against Honorable Muntaka, if I'm not careful, I'm indicting myself and his candidature, and I want his candidature to use his candidature and win the election to save the seat. So some of the internal issues, I think the timing is wrong for us to say any other thing. But another opportunity may come one day or the other. We'll also be vying for other positions, no matter how one day. So if we are going for even the re-election of our chairmanship, most of these will crop up. When it crop up, then we look at the way forward and things that we must see and things that we can go forward.
So let's talk about JDM. Do you think that JDM can secure the seat again?
Inshallah.
What has JDM done to Asawase constituency? When you come to Asawase constituency, let's say Ghana as a whole, Asawase constituency is one of the constituencies that give NDC the highest votes. But what can you say with full chest that the government of the NDC has done to the people of Asawase?
If not for nothing, I can pinpoint 3 things alone. It's enough, which are very monumental, which the processes and its establishment was made within 2-3 years of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
Are they completed?
They are well completed. At least if for nothing, Asawase Market. When you see where Asawase Market is located and its establishment and how it was installed within the shortest possible time, you know that JDM has done a lot. You cannot even be talking about in the national infrastructures without mentioning Asawase Market. 2, initially we used to have one of the biggest secondary schools, used to be Kumaka from the old days. Now today, Pakusu Senior School or
Pakusu is not big. It's just a day school.
So it's not big. A day school is not a big. I say we used to have a big senior high school.
Okay.
Which is Kumaka. Today, Pakusu High School is competing with Kumaka.
Pakusu
High School is competing. I'm telling you, whatever it is also established within the shortest possible time. Possible time by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. The entirety of Kumasi Airport. Initially, we thought that some 15% was part of Kumasi Metropolitan. When Honorable Kankam came, and he was able to go further and realize that the 100% of the airport is under the Asawase Constituency or the Assemblyman Municipal Assembly. As I'm talking to you, everything about the airport, from the runway to the completion, everything was cured by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. So within only these 3 things, these are 3 monumental things that is difficult to find out within various constituencies.
Okay, we have just 3 minutes. I want to talk about our Palele. Do you know that if you are able to solve that drainage system, you're going to do a big help to the people of Asawase?
Because of Palele, your mama was able to secure a fund from French government. French government. Everything, I have even the documents. The copy of the I was able to get it from my MP. When the loan was proposed, how it was laid in Parliament, how it was approved, how the funds came in, everything, and questions asked by some ministers about the Palele problem. When we lost power in 2016, it was in 2016 that everything came in, the money and everything came in. But when we lost power, and we thought that the current government will be able to further on. It was not even only about the Palele. There was some about inner roads and bridges.
So you mean to say that there were funds?
There were funds secured by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to do it. And it was not going to even stop from Aboabo alone. It will move from going to Kasi, and from there it will go to Kwabre. Only to Kwabre and some of its environs. So I think His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has done more than expected.
When he comes, because
inshallah, we are coming.
The people of Asawase love the MPP party, the NDC party. So I guess if
and we have done marvelously for them. No schools within the schools or makaranta, no schools or makaranta in the constituency that has not benefited from the infrastructure development of His Excellency. Every makaranta, all of them.
What did you give?
I'm telling you that all of them, they have benefited from.
You gave us nothing. I think. Thank you for your time.
I'm also very
grateful.
grateful.
I hope you also enjoyed it. It has been educative, insightful, and entertaining. Thank you for coming. See you next time.
The Talk In Show. Get ready to be educated and inspired. The Talk In Show. Get ready to be educated and inspired.